The basic structure of doctrine. The landmark Kesavananda Bharati judgment 1973, which propounded the basic structure doctrine, completed 50 years. About the Kesavananda Bharati case 1973. Case dealt with a petition against Kerala government challenging in the compulsory acquisition of his land by government under Kerala Land Reforms Act 1963 as a violation of fundamental rights as enshrined in Articles 25, 26 and 31 of Constitution of India. Key outcomes. Introduction of basic structure doctrine. Supreme Court upheld validity of 24th Amendment and held that Parliament had power to amend any or all provisions of the Constitution, including fundamental rights, with the condition that amendments should not alter, damage, or destroy the essential features of the the fundamental principles of the Constitution. Corrected judgments of Golaknath case. Supreme Court held that Article 368 contained both power and procedure for amending Constitution, and that amending powers and legislative powers of Parliament were different. Other judgments. Supreme Court upheld 25th and 29th Amendments except for the parts that curtailed its power of judicial review, and also asserted that preamble is a part of Constitution and hence amendable. Preamble is a part of Constitution and hence amendable. Some principles that are presently part of the basic structure. Some principles that are presently part of the basic structure. Sovereignty of India, essential features of the individual freedoms secured to the citizens, mandate to build a welfare state, supremacy of the Constitution, republican and democratic form of government, secular and federal character of the Constitution, separation of powers between the legislature, executive and judiciary, unity and integrity of the nation, power of judicial review, harmony and balance between the fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy. About basic structure doctrine. Basic structure doctrine that holds that certain fundamental features of Constitution cannot be amended or abrogated by Parliament through a constitutional amendment. There is no mention of the basic structure anywhere in Constitution of India. Significance of basic doctrine. Serves as a check on power of Parliament to amend Constitution, ensures that Constitution remains a living document that is responsive to changing times while preserving its fundamental values and principles. Laid down several principles that have become the bedrock of constitutional law in India, such as rule of law, separation of powers and the independence of judiciary. Ensures that federal structure of the Constitution is not undermined. Instrumental in shaping Indian judiciary's approach to constitutional interpretation. Ninth schedule. Recently, Chhattisgarh government has urged to Prime Minister to enlist the amended reservation provisions of the state, which provides 76% reservation in 9th schedule. Objectives of 9th schedule. Carry out land reforms, abolish Jamindari system, establish socialist state. 9th schedule. It was added by first Constitutional Amendment Act of 1951 by inserting a new Article 31B. ఒరిజినల్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్లో 8 షెడ్యూల్స్ మాత్రమే ఉండేవి. 9th షెడ్యూల్ యాడెడ్ బై ఫస్ట్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ అమెండ్మెంట్ యాక్ట్. ఒరిజినల్లీ ఇట్ కంటైన్ ఏ లిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ సెంట్రల్ అండ్ స్టేట్ లాస్ దట్ కెనాట్ బి ఛాలెంజ్డ్ ఇన్ కోర్ట్. Article 31B states that none of the acts or regulations mentioned in 9th schedule shall be considered to be void on the ground that they are inconsistent with any rights. Article 31B is retrospective in nature, and currently there are 284 acts or laws under schedule, of which most are related to agriculture and land laws, while Article 31A extends protection to classes of laws. Article 31B shields specific laws or enactments. 9th schedule and its judicial scrutiny. Vamana Rao versus Union of India 1981. Supreme Court held that amendments to Constitution which was made before 24th April 1973 are valid as per Kesavananda Bharati judgment and evolution of basic structure doctrine. Okay. Interstate border disputes. Assam and Arunachal Pradesh signed a memorandum of understanding to end a decades-long interstate border dispute. Methods to resolve disputes among states. Judicial redressal. Supreme Court in its original jurisdiction decides disputes between states. Article 131 provides that Supreme Court shall, to exclusion of any other court, have original jurisdiction in any dispute between Government of India and one or more states, or between Government of India and any state or states on one side and one or more other states on other, between two or more states. Interstate Council. Article 263 gives powers to President to set up an ISC for resolution of disputes between states. Council is envisaged as a forum for discussion between states and center, and charged with the duty of inquiring into advising upon disputes which may have arisen between states, investigating and discussing subjects in which some or all of the states or union and one or more of the states have a common interest, or making recommendations upon any such subject and recommendations for better coordination of policy and action with respect to that subject. Zonal councils. They are statutory bodies established by States Reorganization Act of 1956. They aim at promoting cooperation and coordination between states, union territories and center. They are only deliberative and advisory bodies. Disqualifications of Member of Parliament MP. Recently, Wayanad MP was disqualified after a court in Surat held him guilty of criminal defamation. Ways a Member of Parliament can be disqualified. Constitutional qualification. As per Article 102 Clause 1 for becoming and being a Member of Parliament, and 191 Clause 1 and 191 Clause 1 for becoming and being a member of state legislature, and the disqualifications are: if he or she holds any office of profit under Government of India or government of any state other than office declared by Parliament by law, not to disqualify its holder; if he is of unsound mind and stands so declared by competent court; if he or she is an undischarged insolvent; if he or she is not a citizen of India; any other disqualification prescribed by Parliament. Anti-Defection Act. A person shall be disqualified from being a Parliament or state legislature member if he is so disqualified under the 10th schedule. Disqualification under Representation of People Act. 10th షెడ్యూల్ ఏముంటుందంటే, ఎవరైనా వేరే పార్టీలోకి వెళ్తే వితౌట్ పర్మిషన్ ద పేరెంట్ పార్టీ, సో దే డూ సమ్ యాక్టివిటీ, గుర్తురాదండి మళ్ళీ మాట్లాడు. Empowered to make statutory laws prescribing disqualification for membership for both Parliament and the state legislature. Disqualification on the ground of conviction for certain offences, commission of corrupt practices or disloyalty, holding office under a government company, and failure to lodge an account of election expenses. Supreme Court in Lily Thomas versus Union of India case, along with Lok Prahari versus Union of India, had ruled that any MP or MLA who is convicted and a given minimum of 2 years imprisonment loses membership of House with immediate effect. Earlier, Section 8 Clause 4 of RPA allowed convicted lawmakers a 3-month period for filing appeal to higher court and get to stay of conviction and sentence. National party status. Election Commission of India grants national party status to Aam Aadmi Party. How is a party national status decided? Votes in Lok Sabha state polls. A party should secure at least 6% of votes polled in 4 or more states in Lok Sabha or assembly elections, and in addition have at least 4 members in Lok Sabha. Seats in Lok Sabha. It should have at least 2% of total Lok Sabha seats and have candidates from not less than 3 seats. Must be a state party in at least 4 states. Benefits of national party status. Exclusive allotment of its reserved symbol to candidates set up by it throughout India. Need only one person to propose a candidate's name to enable them to file nominations. Get broadcast or telecast facilities over Akashvani, Doordarshan during general elections. Can have up to 40 star campaigners while other can have up to 20 star campaigners. Review of registration of a political party. Three exceptions under which ECI can review registration of a political party. Supreme Court's 2002 జడ్జిమెంట్ ఇన్ ఇండియన్ నేషనల్ కాంగ్రెస్. అది గుర్తురాదు, 10th షెడ్యూల్ గుర్తురాదేది, దగ్గర ఉంది దాని కథ ఏందో చూడాలి. In 1985, the 10th schedule of the 52nd Amendment to the Constitution of India was passed by the Parliament of India. To achieve this, which resulted in the introduction of a new word, political party, in the Constitution of India. Thus, political parties got recognition in the Constitution. 10th schedule of the Indian Constitution contains provisions regarding anti-defection law. Anti-defection Act. A person shall be disqualified from being a parliament or state legislative member if he is so disqualified under the 10th schedule. Anti-defection law. Okay, clarity. Panel for appointments of election commissioner. Panel for appointments of election commissioner. Panel for appointments of election commissioner. Recently, Supreme Court in Anup Baranwal versus Union of India 2023 has ruled that election commissioners and chief election commissioner will be chosen by a panel. More on news. Temporary mechanism. Panel would continue to advise the president on appointment until the parliament enacts a law on appointment process of election commissioners. Independence of election commissioners. The move is aimed at insulating the appointment of CEC and election commissioners from executive's interference. Permanent Secretariat. Supreme Court has also asked the Parliament and Union Government to put in place a permanent secretariat for Election Commission of India. Constitutional provisions for appointments. Under Article 324 Clause 2, the President of India is empowered to appoint the Chief Election Commissioner and the election commissioners. Article 324 Clause 2 empowers the President of India to fix from time to time the number of election commissioners other than CEC. Panels in selection process of other key bodies. National Human Rights Commission. Prime Minister, the Speaker of Lok Sabha, the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha, Leader of Opposition in both the Houses of Parliament, the Central Home Minister. Central Information Commission CIC. Prime Minister, the Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha, a Union Cabinet Minister nominated by Prime Minister. Central Vigilance Commission. Prime Minister, the Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha, a Union Cabinet Minister nominated by Prime Minister. CBI. Prime Minister, the Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha, Chief Justice of India. Lokpal. Prime Minister, Speaker of Lok Sabha, the Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha, Chief Justice of India, an eminent jurist to be nominated by the President. Criminal indictment of a president in US and India. Recently, Donald Trump became the first former US president to face a criminal charge. More on news. In both US and India, Article 361 Clause 2 of the Constitution, criminal proceeding against a sitting president cannot be instituted. Criminal proceeding against a sitting president cannot be instituted. However, this immunity is not available to the former president in USA and India. Also in India, those convicted with a jail term of 2 or more years cannot be contest the election of president for 6 years. But in USA, such a person can run for the office of president and can even serve as the president. Provisions. Indian president. Qualification. 35 years of age, citizen of India, qualified for election as a member of Lok Sabha, not holding office of profit. Impeachment. Grounds. Violation of the Constitution. Impeachment charges can be initiated by either House of Parliament. Requires 2/3 majority from both the houses. US President. 35 years of age, US resident for 14 years and a natural born citizen. Grounds: treason, bribery and or other crimes and misdemeanors. Impeachment charges can be introduced in the House of Representatives. Requires a simple majority from House of Representatives and 2/3 majority from the House of Senate. Office of Lokpal, Parliamentary Panel on Personal Public Grievances, Law and Justice, in its report found that Lokpal has not prosecuted a single person for graft till date. Lokpal has not prosecuted a single person for graft till date. About Lokpal. Lokpal is a statutory body constituted under Lokpal and Lokyuktas Act 2013. Act mandates for creation of Lokpal for union and Lokyukta for states. Lokpal and Lokyuktas Act 2013 aims to enhance the current legal and institutional framework to facilitate better implementation of obligations outlined in United Nations Convention Against Corruption (UNCAC). Jurisdiction of Lokpal: Prime Minister, Ministers, Members of Parliament, Groups A, B, C and D, officers and officials of central government. Chairperson, members, officers and directors of any board, any board, corporation, society, trust or autonomous body either established by an act of parliament or wholly or partly funded by union state of government. It also covers any society or trust or body that receives foreign contribution about 10 lakh rupees. Composition of Lokpal. Lokpal shall consist of a chairperson and a maximum of 8 members, of which 50% shall be judicial members. 50% of members of Lokpal shall be from amongst SC, ST, OBCs, minorities and women. Appointment of members of Lokpal. The chairperson and the members of the Lokpal shall be appointed by the President on recommendations of selection committee. Salary and allowances. Chairperson shall be the same as those of Chief Justice of India. Other members shall be the same as those of a judge of the Supreme Court. Reappointment. Lokpal. On ceasing to hold office, chairperson and every member shall be ineligible for reappointment as chairperson for a member of Lokpal. There are also ineligible for any diplomatic assignment, appointment as administrator of a union territory and such other assignment or appointment which is required by law to be made by President by warrant under his hand and seal. Economy. Direct benefit transfers (DBT). India saved over 27 billion in key central government schemes through direct benefit transfers. About direct benefit transfers (DBT). DBT was launched in 2013 to transfer government of benefits directly into the citizens' Aadhaar seeded bank accounts. Aadhaar is not mandatory in DBT. Aadhaar is useful in targeting the intended beneficiaries and is thus encouraged, but it is not mandatory. DBT mission. The mission and matters related thereto have been placed with Cabinet Secretariat under Secretary Coordination and PG since 2015. Markets in crypto assets. MICA. Objectives of markets in crypto assets: ensuring legal certainty for crypto assets in scope, supporting innovative and fair competition, protecting consumers, investors and market integrity, ensuring financial stability with the inclusion of safeguards. The European Parliament has recently passed the markets in crypto assets legislation, which is expected to regulate the crypto industry. About markets in crypto assets (MICA), it is considered as the first set of regulations in the world, establishing a legal framework for crypto asset services providers as well as consumer protection. Markets in crypto assets. will apply directly across the European Union without any need for national implementation laws. MICA regulation focus on the certain categories of crypto assets which are currently out of scope of existing regulations, that is, it does not apply to non-fungible tokens, NFTs, DeFi, decentralized finance, and central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. MICA distinguishes between different types of crypto assets and provides regulatory requirements specific to each category. Subcategorization of crypto assets: electronic money tokens, EMTs, asset referred tokens, ARTs, utility tokens, UTs. MICA is a part of the European Commission digital finance strategy, which also includes the DLT pilot regime and the Digital Operational Resilience Act DORA. Crypto assets can be defined as a digital representation of value or rights which may be transferred and stored electronically using distributed ledger technology or similar technology. Different types of tokens under crypto assets: stablecoin, also known as electronic money tokens. These are tokens whose values are fixed. Often they are pegged to a currency such as the US dollar. Security tokens: these are tokens that include the owner possesses a stake in some real world asset or enterprise. Utility tokens: these tokens provide users to special access to product, service, or offer and are often issued as part of a project or company's initial coin offering. Non-fungible tokens: it is a unique token that corresponds to a specific and unique digital item or a digital representation of a physical item. Regulations by the Securities and Exchange Board of India. The Securities and Exchange Board of India board took various decisions regarding the regulatory environment of the secondary market. What is a secondary market? The secondary market is where investors buy and sell securities they already own. Buy and sell securities they already own. Investors exchange with each other rather than the issuing entity. When a company issues stock or bonds for the first time and sells those securities directly to investors, the transaction occurs on the primary market. Some common primary market transactions are initial public offering, IPO, private placement, rights issue, etc. If these initial investors later decide to sell their stake in the company, they can do so on the secondary market. Reforms by SEBI. Application supported by blocked amount ASBA like facility for investors to trade in the secondary market. The facility is based on the blocking of funds for trading in the secondary market through UPI. It will be optional for investors as well as stock brokers. Fraud prevention. Amendment to Stock Broker Regulation 1992 to institute a formal mechanism and for prevention and detection of fraud or market abuse by stockbrokers. Strengthening grievance and redressal mechanism. Amendments to regulations to operationalize online dispute resolution mechanism for investors across registered intermediaries or regulated entities. Extended the MII market infrastructure institutions administered conciliation and arbitration mechanism to registered intermediaries or regulated entities and their investors or clients. Streamlined the dispute resolution process and adopted measures to strengthen the enforcement of awards. Gig economy. Recently, Blinkit delivery agents went on strike as a reaction to changes in their pay structure. The protests are primarily happening at dark stores. A dark store is a brick and mortar location that has been shut down and turned into a center for fulfillment operations. These protests show the rising conflict between the workers and firms in the gig economy. A dark store is a brick and mortar location that has been shut down. What is gig economy and gig worker? A gig economy is a free market system in which temporary positions are common and organizations contract with independent workers for short-term engagements. Gig workers are those engaged in livelihood outside the traditional employee arrangements. They can be broadly classified into platform gig workers, non-platform gig workers, those whose work is based on online software apps or digital platforms such as food aggregators, platforms on Zomato, Swiggy, Ola, and others. Non-platform gig workers. They are generally casual waged and own account workers in the conventional sector, engaged in part-time or full-time. Stand Up India. Recently, Prime Minister acknowledged Stand Up India's role in empowering the SC or ST communities, women, and job creation at the completion of 7 years of this scheme. About the scheme, Ministry, it was launched in 2016 under the Ministry of Finance, Government of India. The scheme has been extended up to 2025. Objective to promote entrepreneurship among scheduled castes or scheduled tribes and women. Features, it covers all branches of scheduled commercial banks, bank loans of 10 rupees to 10 to 100 lakh to at least one SC or ST and one woman borrower per branch. Applicants can draw up to 10 lakh rupees as working capital by an overdraft. The government does not allocate funds for loans under the Stand Up India scheme. It can be accessed in 3 potential ways: directly at the branch, through Stand Up India portal, through the lead district manager. SATI, Seed Traceability Authentication and Holistic Inventory Portal. SATI, Seed Traceability Authentication and Holistic Inventory Portal. Ministry of Agricultural and Farmers Welfare launched SATI portal and mobile app. About SATI, Seed Traceability Authentication and Holistic Inventory Portal and mobile app is a centralized online system. It created for seed traceability, authentication and inventory, designed to deal with challenges of seed production, quality, seed identification, seed certification. Seeds authenticity can be traced through a QR code system. Portal has been developed by National Informatics Center in collaboration with MOE and FW, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, on the theme of Uttam Beej Samriddhi Kisan. It will consist of integrated 7 verticals of the seed chain: research organization, seed certification, seed licensing, seed catalog, dealer to farmer sales, farmer registration, and seed DBT. Seed certification in India. Seed certification is a process designed to maintain and make available to the general public continuous supply of high quality seeds. Seeds with valid certification can be only sold by valid licensed dealers to centrally registered farmers who will receive subsidy through DBT directly into the pre-validated bank accounts. Aquaculture sector. The Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying introduced the Coastline Aquaculture Authority Amendment Bill 2023. More on news. The bill seeks to amend certain provisions of the Coastal Aquaculture Authority Act 2005 and decriminalize offences under it. This 2005 Act established the Coastal Aquaculture Authority for regulating coastal aquaculture. It aims at promoting ease of doing business and fine-tuning the operational procedures of the Coastal Aquaculture Authority. Features of the bill. Aquaculture. It basically refers to the breeding, rearing and harvesting of fish, shellfish, algae and other organisms in all types of water environments. Coastal aquaculture. The amended bill defines coastal aquaculture as the rearing and cultivation of any life stages of fish, including crustaceans, molluscs, finfish, seaweed or any other aquatic life under controlled conditions, either indoor or outdoor, in saline or brackish water in coastal areas. It also includes activities such as the production of broadstock seed and grow out, but does not include freshwater aquaculture. Coastal Aquaculture Authority. It is a statutory body established under the Coastal Aquaculture Authority Act 2005. It functions under the Ministry for Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying. Objective: to regulate coastal aquaculture activities in coastal areas in order to endure a sustainable development without causing damage to the coastal environment. Functions: regulating the construction and operation of aquaculture farms in coastal areas, inspection of farms to ascertain their environmental impact, registration of aquaculture farms, fixing standard for inputs and effluents, removal or demolition for coastal aquaculture farms which cause pollution, etc. International Big Cat Alliance. Prime Minister of India launched the International Big Cat Alliance (IBCA) to mark 50 years of Project Tiger. Project Tiger is a centrally sponsored scheme of the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, launched in 1973. It aims to ensure the maintenance of a viable population of tigers in India for scientific, economic, aesthetic, cultural and ecological values. Implementing agency of Project Tiger. Statutory body, National Tiger Conservation Authority, overarching supervisory coordination role and approves the tiger conservation plan prepared by the state governments. Tiger Protection Status, Wildlife Protection Act, Schedule 1, Schedule 4, IUCN Status, Sites Appendix 1. About IBCA, first proposed by India at an international group against poaching and illegal wildlife trade in 2019. Aim to protect and conserve 7 major big cats: tiger, lion, leopard, snow leopard, puma, jaguar and cheetah, in collaboration with membership of 97 range of countries harboring these species. India is the only country in world to 5 big cats in wild except pumas and jaguar. IUCN status: endangered, Royal Bengal tiger, Asiatic lions, vulnerable, snow leopards, African cheetahs, least concerned, common leopard. Funding: assured support over 5 years with guaranteed funding of over 8,000 crore rupees. IBCA governance structure: General Assembly consisting of all member countries, Council of at least 7 but not more than 15 member countries, elected by General Assembly for 5 years term. Secretariat: upon recommendation of Council, General Assembly will appoint IBCA Secretary General for specific term. National Tiger Conservation Authority. It was constituted under provisions of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 as amended in 2006. Ministry of Environment, Forests and Climate Change. Objectives: providing statutory authority to Project Tiger, fostering accountability of center to state in management of TR by providing a basis of MOU with states within our federal structure, providing for an oversight by Parliament, addressing livelihood interest of local people in areas surrounding TR. Aravalli Green Wall Project. Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change launched Aravalli Green Wall Project. About Aravalli Green Wall Project, inspired by Africa's Great Green Wall Program, an initiative launched in 2007 in Sahel region bordering Africa's Sahara Desert to combat desertification and land degradation. GGW project aims to restore 100 million hectares of degraded land by 2030. Green Wall project is a major initiative to create green corridor in 5 km buffer area around Aravalli Hill range in 4 states: Haryana, Rajasthan, Gujarat and Delhi. Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana, Delhi. Involving planting. It will involve planting native species of trees and shrubs on scrubland, wasteland and degraded forest land, along with regenerating and restoring surface water bodies such as ponds, lakes and streams. Objectives of Aravalli Green Wall Project: improving ecological health of Aravalli range, prevent eastward expansion of Thar Desert and reduce land degradation, enhancing India's image as a global leader in environmental protection and green development, promote sustainable development and livelihood opportunities by involving local communities, contribute to India's commitment under various international conventions such as UNCCD, United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, etc. Low temperature thermal distillation distillation plants. Low temperature thermal desalination plants. National Institute of Ocean Technology will set up a green self-powered desalination plants in Lakshadweep. Once made up operational, it will probably be the world's first desalination plant that will supply power to plant as well as while converting seawater to potable water. Current desalination plants are powered by diesel generator sets, leading to air pollution and increase in operational cost due to diesel transportation to Iceland. NIOT has established low temperature thermal desalination plants on 6 Lakshadweep islands and one at northern Chennai. About low temperature thermal desalination plants. LTTD is a process which warm surface seawater is flash evaporated at low pressure and vapor is condensed with cold deep seawater. Cold water condenses the warmer water at the surface level whose pressure has been lowered using vacuum pumps. Condensed water is free of salts and contaminants and fit to consume. Now instead of diesel powered vacuum pumps, ocean thermal energy conversion technology will be used to generate energy to depressurize warm water. Heat wave alert. Indian Meteorological Department had issued an orange alert over high temperatures in 3 states, West Bengal, Bihar and Andhra Pradesh, and claimed that heat wave conditions are prevail in 4 other states, Sikkim, Jharkhand, Odisha and Uttar Pradesh. A conditions of air temperature which becomes fatal to human body when exposed, defined based on temperature thresholds over a region in terms of actual temperature or its departure from normal. Reasons for heat waves: prevalence of hot dry air over a region, absence of moisture in upper atmosphere, cloudless sky, anticyclonic conditions. IMD criteria for heat waves. Indian Meteorological Department for criteria for heat waves. Heat wave is considered if maximum temperature of a station reaches at least 40 degrees centigrade for plains and at least 30 degrees for hilly regions. When normal maximum temperature of a station is less than equal to 40 degrees centigrade, heat wave departure from normal is 5 degrees centigrade to 6 degrees centigrade. Severe heat wave departure from normal is 7 degrees centigrade or more. When normal maximum temperature of a station is more than 40 degrees centigrade, heat wave departure from normal is 4 degrees centigrade to 5 degrees centigrade. Severe heat wave departure from normal is 6 degree or more. When actual maximum temperature remains 45 degrees centigrade or more, irrespective of normal maximum temperature, heat wave should be declared. Places in news. Zojila Tunnel, it will provide year-round connectivity between Kashmir Valley and Ladakh. Zojila Tunnel. Neeru River, Eurasian otter spotted in the Neeru stream of the Chenab catchment, originated in the Kailash Lake, a tributary of Chenab. River Hindon, tributary of river Yamuna. River Hindon, tributary of river Yamuna in Uttar Pradesh. River Kuil, tributary of Ganga. Sanchi, it is all set to become the country's first solar. Pulicat Lake, after a 6-year absence, lesser flamingos found their way back to Pulicat Lake, a Ramsar site and second largest brackish water lake or lagoon in India. Hussain Sagar, Hyderabad, facing issue of pollution and that reduction in its size. Pennayar River, Ponnayar, time limit fixed by Supreme Court for constitution of an interstate river water disputes tribunal for Pennayar River is over. Rises on eastern slope of Nandidurg mountain in the Channakeshwa hills of eastern Karnataka. Supreme Court modifies order on eco-sensitive zones, modifying its June 2022 order that mandated a minimum 1 kilometer EEZ around national parks or wildlife sanctuaries. Supreme Court stated that EEZ cannot be uniform across the country and has to be protected area specific. Earlier, central several states had sought modification of the order as it affected villages in the peripheries of forests. Key highlights of modified order: 2022 order will not be applicable to economic sensitive zones for which draft and final modifications has been issued by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and in respects of proposals which have been received by Ministry, where national parks and sanctuaries are located on interstate borders or share common boundaries. No mining would be allowed either with national parks and sanctuaries or in a 1 kilometer radius. Any developmental activities undertaken within ESZs should follow the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change 2011 guidelines and also provisions of the 2022 Office Memorandum by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Right to health. Recently, Rajasthan became the first Indian state to enact a Right to Health Act. Health as right and right to health in India. Scope of right to health. Right to health extends not just to timely and appropriate health care, but also to the underlying determinants of health such as access to safe and potable water and adequate sanitation, health, occupational and environmental conditions, and access to health related education and information, including on sexual and reproductive health. Constitutional position. Right to health is constituted as a part of right to life, Article 21 through substantive rulings of the Supreme Court. Initiative towards right to health. National Health Policy 2017 to attain highest possible level of health and well-being for all ages. Ayushman Bharat Yojana to deliver comprehensive health services. Telemanas, a comprehensive mental health care service. Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana to increase penetration of health insurance. Multiple other initiatives for food security, housing, sanitation, mitigation and adaptation to climate change, reduce pollution. National Health Mission encompassing two submissions, National Rural Health Mission and National Urban Health Mission. Rights and rulings of Supreme Court. Right to food, right to clean environment, right to emergency medical aid. Right to food. People's Union of Civil Liberties versus Union of India 1996. Right to clean environment. MC Mehta versus Union of India 1987. Right to emergency medical aid. Paramanand Kantara versus Union of India 1989. Midday meal pulses. Recently, Minister of Education urged states to procure pulses for the Prime Minister's overarching scheme for holistic nutrition, PM Poshan, from NAFED. The Government of India maintains buffer stocks of pulses through NAFED, National Agricultural Cooperating Market Federation of India. Centre asked this, ensuring benefit from economy of scale and assured subsidy rates in the interest of students. Jigyasa. Recently, CSIR IIP, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, Indian Institute of Petroleum, held a Jigyasa program as a part of the 1 week 1 lab campaign. About Jigyasa program. Jigyasa is a student scientific connect program from CSIR, a scientific social responsibility. SSR is a moral and ethical obligation of scientific community to give back benefits they derive from science to less endowed stakeholders and society. In 2017, CSIR signed the MOU with Kendriya Vidyalaya, Sangathan, KVS and Jigyasa with the objective of teaching the scientific temperament among school children. Bharat 6G Mission. Recently, India released the Bharat 6G Vision document, which eyes 6G services rollout by 2030 and launched 6G research and development test bed. About Bharat 6G Vision, prepared by Technology Innovation Group of 6G, TIG 6G, that was constituted in 2021 by the Department of Telecommunications under the Ministry of Communications. TIG 6G has members from various ministries or departments, research and development institutions, academia, industry, etc. to develop a roadmap and action plans for 6G in India. Bharat 6G mission will be divided into two phases. Phase 1, 2023 to 2025, support to explorative ideas support to explorative ideas, risky pathways, and proof of concept tests. Phase 1 2025 to 2030 conceptualizing and delivering potential technology solutions. Delivering potential technology solutions. An apex body to be constituted to oversee the mission and approve the budget for the mission, split into two phases and lay down the phase objectives. Dark matter map. Astronomers have made the most detailed map of dark matter, showing that both the lumpiness piece of a solid substance, usually with no particular shape of the universe, and the rate at which the universe is growing. They have created a map by using the microwave detector of the Atacama Cosmology Telescope. Cosmology Telescope. Astronomers were observing the data collected by ACT to find out whether Einstein's predictions in his theory are correct, reading the expansion of the universe. They also observed the sanctity of the standard model of cosmology. Slow studies. Okay. Health. One World Tuberculosis Summit. World WORLD TB Summit. The Prime Minister addressed the One World TB Summit on the occasion of World TB Day, March 24. Key highlights of summit. Ministry of Health and Family Welfare released Leading the Way India TB Report 2023. Initiatives launched at summit. Tuberculosis causes caused by Bacillus mycobacterium spreads when people sick with TB expel the bacteria in air. Treatment. Currently, Bacilli calamity gurion BCG is the only vaccine available. Bedaquiline and delamanid are used for treatment of drug resistance TB. About it is a communicable disease and one of the leading causes of deaths worldwide. It commonly affects the lungs, pulmonary, but can also affect other parts of the body, extrapulmonary. Inter-Services Organizations Command, Control and Discipline Bill 2023. Stockholm International Peace Research Institute reports new data on global arms transfer and military expenditure was published by Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. Key highlights of the data. US was world's topmost military exporter in past 5 years, followed by Russia and France. India's share of global arms imports was highest in past 5 years, followed by Saudi Arabia, Qatar and Australia. Russia was the largest supplier of arms to India, but its share of total Indian arms imports fell. Other top suppliers to India were France, US and Israel. India's arms imports fell 11% between 2013 to 17 and 2018 to 2022 because of reasons like a complex procurement process, efforts to diversity arms suppliers and attempts to replace imports with local design. 5 biggest spenders in 2022 were US, China, Russia, India and Saudi Arabia, which together accounted for 63% of world military spending. Personal expenses, salaries and pensions remained the largest expenditure category, around 50% in Indian military budget. Vaikom Satyagraha. As the year 2024 marks the centenary of the Vaikom Satyagraha, Kerala and Tamil Nadu jointly inaugurated the centenary celebrations. Born in Periyar E.V. Ramaswamy, born in 1879, he was a rationalist, Dravidian social reformer of the 20th century. Political contributions. Forefront of Vaikom Satyagraha and later founded the self-respect movement in 1925. Founded Dravidar Kazhagam, earlier known as the Justice Party. Ideological contributions. Argued in favor of equal rights for lower caste communities and women. Insisted that each individual must think for herself, enter into dialogues with each other and rationally carry out the process of decision making. Background of the movement. People of the oppressed classes, especially of the Ejavas were prohibited from walking on the 4 roads surrounding the Vaikom Mahadeva temple. 4 roads Madavidile anukunta. Okay. Leaders: T.K. Madhavan, K.P. Kesava Menon, who was the then Secretary of Kerala Pradesh Congress Committee, and Congress leader and educationist K. Kelappan, also known as Kerala Gandhi. Temple entry issue was first raised by T.K. Madhavan in 1917 in his paper Deshabhimani. Features of Vaikom Satyagraha. Nature: non-violent movement against untouchability and caste discrimination marked the dawn of temple entry movements across India. Place: epic center Kerala's Vaikom town, which was then in the princely state of Travancore. Duration: lasted 604 days. Started March 30, 1924, ended November 23, 1925. Features of the movement: Gandhian method of non-violent protest, participation of women and different communities, solidarity for solidarity for social reforms from some groups, received support from Akalis of Punjab, brought the issue of untouchability to the forefront of political issues. Arrival of Mahatma Gandhi in Vaikom at Vaikom in 1925. He also met Queen Sethu Lakshmi Bai, Maharani Regent of Travancore. Their meeting resulted in a royal proclamation by which all the public roads to Vaikom Mahadeva temple was open to all castes. Movement under Periyar. Under the guidance of Mahatma Gandhi and C. Rajagopalachari, Periyar then led the movement till its conclusion. He mobilized volunteers and garnered public support. Part of an 8-member delegation constituted to meet Diwan of Travancore. He held meetings with Mahatma Gandhi, Sri Narayan Guru, Swami Shraddhananda and Sri Rajagopalachari. Raja Ravi Varma. 175th birth anniversary of Raja Ravi Varma 1848 to 1906 was celebrated recently. Place of birth Travancore, Kilimanur, Travancore, also known as the father of India, modern Indian art. He is best known for his paintings and prints that exquisitely render Indian subjects using European techniques. Teachers: Ramaswamy Naidu, water painting; Theodore Jensen, a Dutch painter, oil painting. Awards: Kaisar-i-Hind Gold Medal 1904. Government of Kerala has instituted an award in his name. Some of his great paintings: A Family of Beggars, Lady Lost in Thought, The Heartbroken, Draupadi dreading to meet Kichaka, Parsi Lady Unfinished, Shantanu and Matsya Aganda, The Orchestra, Lady Giving Alms at the Temple. Contributions to Indian art. Early proponent of lithography, depicted popular scenes and characters from Hindu literature. Union of India tradition and European art, and taking Indian art all over the world. Insights to mythological stories, including the ones depicting episodes from the story of Dushyanta and Shakuntala, story of Nala and Damayanti, Lord Rama's trump over Varuna, etc. National Mission for Cultural Mapping. Government has identified and documented distinctive features of more than 1 lakh villages under the Mera Gaon Meri Dharohar, My Village, Mera Gaon Meri Dharohar, My Village, My Heritage program of the National Mission for Cultural Mapping. About Mera Gaon Meri Dharohar survey, it seeks to document the cultural identity at the village level by involving citizens to share what makes their village, block or district unique. Mechanism involves common service centers, village level entrepreneur conducting meetings with locals and then uploading interesting facts about their village onto an application. Coordination. Ministry of Culture has partnered with the CSC under the Ministry of Electronics and IT. Villages have been broadly divided into various categories based on whether they are important ecologically, developmentally, scholastically, if they produce a famous textile or product, etc. About National Mission for Cultural Mapping, initiated by the Ministry of Culture in 2017. Goals of the mission: preserving the threads of rich Indian art and culture heritage, converting cultural canvas of India into an objective cultural mapping, design a mechanism to fulfill the aspirations of the artist community, creating strong cultural vibrancy throughout the nation. Institutions involved: CSC E-Governance Services India Limited is given the task by Ministry of Culture to carry out NMCM. Mission is being executed under the guidance of Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts. At broadcast level, there are three important objectives of the mission as follows: National Culture Awareness Abhiyan, Hamari Sanskriti Hamari Pachan Abhiyan, Our Culture Our Identity. It is conducted from block to the national level. Okay. Indian knowledge systems in higher education. University Grant Commission has released draft guidelines for the incorporation of the Indian knowledge systems IKS in higher education for undergraduate and postgraduate courses. What is Indian knowledge system? Indian knowledge system encompasses all of the systemized discipline of knowledge which were developed to a high degree of sophistication in India from ancient times, and all of the traditions and practices that the various communities of India, including tribal communities, have evolved, refined and preserved over generations. Earlier in 2020, IKS division under Ministry of Education was set up to promote research on disseminate Indian knowledge systems. Also, expertise in the Indian knowledge system has been added in the recently released final version of the National Credit Framework. Raman effect. National Science Day was observed on 28th February. 28th February was designated as NSD in 1986 to commemorate the announcement of discovery of Raman effect, also known as Raman scattering, by Nobel laureate physicist C.V. Raman in 1928. Significance of Raman effect. Used in Raman spectroscopy to identify and analyze chemical composition of materials. Crucial for quantum theory. It's crucial for quantum theory. Used in remote sensing and planetary exploration. He won Nobel Prize in Physics in 1930. Highest civilian award in 1954. Theme of NSD National Science Day 2023 is Global Science for Global Well-being. About Raman effect. Raman effect is the change in wavelength of light that occurs when a light beam is deflected by molecules. When a beam of light traverses a dust-free, transparent sample of a chemical compound, a small fraction of light emerges in directions other than that of the incident beam. Most of this scattered light is of unchanged wavelength. However, a small part has a wavelength different from that of incident light. This is because of Raman effect phenomenon. Magnetoresistance. Recently, Nobel laureate Andre Geim was discovered that graphene displays an anomalous Giant magnetoresistance GMR at a room temperature. About magnetoresistance. GMR is the result of electric resistance of a conductor sandwiched between two materials being affected by magnetic fields in adjacent materials. When materials are magnetized in same direction, electrical resistance in the conductor is low. When directions are opposite each other, resistance increases. LIGO India project. The Union Cabinet has approved the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory or Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory or LIGO project to build an advanced gravitational wave detector. About the project. India is a planned advanced gravitational wave observatory to be located in India as part of the worldwide network. Components will be made in India and Protect will have multidisciplinary benefits on India's astrophysics research, high-end technological development. Genesis. In principle, approval in 2016 to be completed by 2030. Where? Hingoli district in Maharashtra. Capacity. It is a collaborative project between a consortium of Indian research institutions and the LIGO laboratory in USA. The USA will provide key components for the lab. What is LIGO and how it works? LIGO is a tool to detect gravitational waves with the use of laser interferometers. LIGO detector consists of two 4 km long vacuum chambers arranged at right angles with each other with mirrors at the end. Rare earth elements. Hyderabad-based National Geophysical Research Institute has found large deposits of 15 rare earth elements in Andhra Pradesh, Anantapur district. REES, occur rare earth oxides, are a group of 17 silvery white softy heavy metals that occur together in periodic table. Group consists of yttrium and 15 lanthanide elements: lanthanum, cerium, praseodymium, neodymium, promethium, samarium, europium, terbium, dysprosium, holmium, erbium, thulium, ytterbium, and lutetium. REEs are metals having many similar properties that often causes to be found together in geologic deposits. Defense. Inter-Services Organizations Command, Control and Discipline Bill. Government introduces Inter-Services Organizations Command, Control and Discipline Bill 2023 in Lok Sabha. About Inter-Services Organizations Command, Control and Discipline Bill. Bill seeks to empower a Commander-in-Chief or officer in command of inter-services organizations in respect of service personnel who are serving under his command for maintenance of discipline, proper discharge of their duties, etc. Presently, such personnel are governed by Air Force Act 1950, Army Act 1950, and Navy Act 1957 Service Acts. Only officers of respective services exercise disciplinary powers over service personnel. DNA vaccine. India's first and only DNA vaccine for dengue has shown promising results. It has been developed since 2019 in National Center for Biological Sciences, Bengaluru. Earlier, world's first DNA vaccine, ZyCoV-D, was approved in 2021 for emergency use against COVID-19. About DNA vaccine. DNA vaccine uses a copy of a genetic sequence from a part, that is outer and or spike of pathogen, virus or bacteria, to stimulate body's immune system. More specifically, it is known as plasmid DNA vaccine, whereas RNA vaccine uses a copy of natural chemical called messenger RNA to produce an immune response to. In humans, delivery of mRNA is achieved by lipid nanoparticles. Food irradiation. According to reports, onion will be irradiated with gamma rays to curb post-harvest losses. More on news. Perishable nature of onions combined with lower processing penetration and suboptimal storage infrastructure causes post-harvest losses almost 25%. Benefits of food irradiation. Eliminate organisms that cause foodborne illness such as E. coli. Delay in sprouting and ripening to increase longevity. Destroy or inactivate organisms that cause spoilage and decomposition. Can be used to sterilize foods which can then be stored for years without refrigeration. Irradiation prevents sprouting and thus helps in bringing down post-harvest losses. About food irradiation. Food irradiation involves controlled applications of energy, ionizing radiation such as gamma rays, electrons, and X-rays for food preservation. Irradiation works by disrupting the biological process that led to decay. Gamma ray, X-ray or electrons do not include any radioactivity in food. Quantum communication. A highly secured link developed by Center for Development of Telematics CDOT under Department of Telecommunication was established for the first time in India. About quantum communication. Quantum communication refers to communication channels that leverage laws of quantum physics to protect data and make it more secure than traditional transmission. In traditional key-based cryptography, data and keys are sent as classical bits representing 1 and 0 as a stream of electrical and optical pulses. However, in a quantum communication network, data is transmitted via qubits. Qubits are particles, usually photons of light, in a superposition state, meaning they can be in multiple states and represent numerous combinations of 0 and 1. If a hacker tries to read them in transit, superfragile quantum state collapses either 1 or 0, and attempt to hack will also be recorded eventually. This property has helped to create networks for transmitting highly sensitive data based on a process called quantum key distribution QKD. National Quantum Mission. National Quantum Mission received cabinet approval at cost of about 6,000 crore rupees. aim to seed, nurture and scale up scientific and industrial research and development and create a vibrant and innovative ecosystem in quantum technology. Implementing agency, Department of Science and Technology under the Ministry of Science and Technology. Mission from 2023 to 2031, developing intermediate scale quantum computers with 52,000 physical qubits in 8 years. Satellite based secure quantum communications between ground stations over a range of 2000 kilometers within India with other countries. Also intercity quantum key distribution over 2000 kilometers. Application areas, magnetometers with highly sensitivity in atomic systems. Magnetometers is an instrument for measuring the strength and sometimes the direction of magnetic fields, including those on near the earth and in space. Atomic clocks for precision timing, communications and navigation. Sangathan Se Samriddhi campaign. Ministry of Rural Development recently launched Sangathan Se Samriddhi campaign. About Sangathan Se Samriddhi campaign, it aims to mobilize disadvantaged rural communities unaware of the benefits of the Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana National Rural Livelihoods Mission DAYNRLM. The campaign will be organized in all states with the expectation of forming more than 1 lakh self-help group. DAYNRLM aims at creating efficient and effective institutional platforms of the rural poor, enabling them to increase household income and improve access to financial sectors. Triple test for surrogacy. Karnataka High Court has awarded triple test to help a couple facing legal hurdles to have a surrogated child under provisions of Surrogacy Act 2021. The Surrogacy Acts only altruistic surrogacy and penalizes commercial surrogacy. The triple test given by Karnataka High Court: genetic test, physical test, economic test. Project Elephant. President of India inaugurates Gaj Utsav at Kaziranga National Park in Assam to mark 30th anniversary of Project Elephant, launched by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change in 1992 as a centrally sponsored scheme. Support and coverage, financial and technical support are being provided to major elephant bearing states in the country. Presently, the project is being implemented in 22 states or UTs. Main activities under the project: conserve and protect viable populations of wild elephants in their natural habitats. Conserve, protect and restore natural habitats and traditional corridors or migratory routes used by the elephants through eco restoration, acquisition, etc. Protect the elephants from poaching and other threats by taking suitable measures like deployment of patrolling squads, intelligence gathering, etc. Ensure interstate and regional and national level coordination in protecting and conserving the elephant and its ranges. Groundwater, a valuable but diminishing resource report. Parliamentary Standing Committee on Water Resource presented its report on groundwater, a valuable but diminishing resource. Key highlight of the report noted that the progress made in terms of bringing down the groundwater use is minimal. As per the 2020 assessment, 61.6% of India's annual extractable groundwater resource of 398 billion cubic meter was being utilized, with 245 BCM being extracted for all uses. Over extraction of groundwater for meeting irrigation needs is prevalent mainly in northern states, particularly in Punjab, Haryana and Rajasthan. Regional distribution of groundwater varied. Northern mountainous terrain of Himalaya from Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh being major source of recharge over the further vast Indo-Gangetic and Brahmaputra alluvial plains. Peninsular shield located south of Indo-Gangetic plain, Brahmaputra plain has limited groundwater potential, while coastal tracts have potential multi-aquifers in the states. చాలా టఫ్ ఉంది.